What are the technologies that are available? There's a lot of people that say, I do warehouse and shipping capabilities, but what are their true capabilities within? So there's got to be specialities that people focus on. So I look at your internal operations, look at what modes that you're shipping from, look at the distant systems that you need to integrate to, whether it's in Amazon, if you're doing online sales, if it's working with distributors, or you have suppliers that you're providing orders to provide the different systems that you need to talk to in which to communicate to help process that shipment and provide that visibility. What's important to realize is to understand your business process. What are the changes that are occurring? Like UPS is now doing dimensional weights, which is adding to your cost. So what you're looking to try to achieve is how do you create the limited number of packages? How do you create the limited number of packages going out the door? How do you consolidate those shipments to one location using the technology platforms that are available through Sage ERP, through ProcessWeaver, and communicating that to the carrier so you get a lower operating cost going forward? So we're looking at the automation, we're talking about the communication to that carrier and providing that information back to your customer service representatives to let your customers know where the package is, let your accounting team know what is the invoices so they can issue a post-goods issue, as well as to your warehouse team on how do they process back orders and submitting the completion of that ordered shipment. The industry is changing. The carrier technologies are changing, making their systems more available to help provide the information back to you. ProcessWeaver's technology has changed through web services, now being able to integrate to LTL providers, to ocean carriers, to other types of distribution platforms. Transportation management is really the end of the supply chain, and people are realizing that having visibility across the supply chain ends up being a black box when it comes, once those goods get out the warehouse doors, when it's going to your end customers, to your distributors, or intercompany deliveries. So how do you maintain that visibility back into your ERPs? We manage any mode of transportation throughout your logistics enterprise, executing shipping execution through an automated platform. It's working with different systems that you realize you get a monthly bill that could be hundreds of pages long, and most maybe do spot checks. So who's checking the latest in the dimension weights that are now being processed? Who's doing the validation that your service level of two-day delivery is being met? How do you track that on a monthly basis? So again, leveraging the technology. When you receive the electronic bills and you use one solution like a ProcessWeaver, you guys might be using UPS World Ship or FedEx Cafe, or you might be using Merck for an LTL to process your shipments, and you're using different shipping lanes or different systems. Now if you have one platform where all your shipments are taking place, we now can compare that against the invoice, and we get a spot check that you can get in a matter of seconds that will determine whether the carrier is meeting your service level, whether the bill is being billed appropriately by the carrier, because we're providing the electronic transfer of your account details instantaneously. So you can almost see the results within 2 to 3 months on the benefits of ROI of freight analytics.